Welcome to the Family Brand Show. We're Chris and Melissa Smith of FamilyBrand.com, husband and wife, parents of 5, and we want to help you take back your family and to live life on your terms.
And we know being a family can feel really overwhelming. Parents tell us they feel like they're being pulled in a million different directions. It's so challenging to navigate the uncertainty and all the chaos that's happening in the world right now.
And that's why we want to bring you every single week actionable tips and strategies that you can implement in your daily life to become a better parent, to become a better spouse, and to build a stronger family. And look, there's never been a better time and a more important time than right now to take back your family. You can define what your family stands for, or the world is going to do it for you. And the world needs strong families now more than ever. And it starts right here with your family.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. Here we are coming at you with Chris and Melissa, the Family Brand Podcast. We have a fun episode today talking about kind of all the things, wrapping up your new year, wrapping up the old year, starting a new year really powerfully. We have some really fun ideas that we love sharing every year. This is one of our most downloaded things that we do every year. So yeah, we're going to get into it a little bit today and tell you exactly how to download a bunch of cool free stuff so that you can do everything we're talking about today. You can do it for your own family.
Yeah, and I normally wouldn't do this, but you could literally stop this episode right now and just go to familybrand.com/best and get everything that you and your family need to have what we would consider maybe the most fun, meaningful New Year's Eve you've ever had, as well as a really simple framework of how to bring the current year to a close, and then how to create some serious momentum heading into the new year. We have shared this, like Melissa said, for years with families. They've really loved it. Most families have come back and actually have said that was the most fun and meaningful way to bring our current year to a close that we've ever done. It was the most fun New Year's Eve party we've ever had. And we feel like we're starting the new year off with more momentum and clarity than we've ever had.
One thing I did last year is, so we used to have two different things. We had the New Year's Eve thing, and then we had a New Year's thing. They were two separate pieces. I actually put them together last year. So they're all together in one pretty little package.
And how this came about for Melissa and I was a couple things. One, we would get invited to New Year's Eve parties and we'd go and they were fun. And we would stay up really late, wake up the next morning, kind of like groggy, sleeping in. And we just didn't feel like that was the way that we wanted to start our new year. We just didn't feel like we were starting the new year off with a lot of momentum or clarity or focus. And we weren't doing anything without even realizing it. We weren't doing anything to bring the year we just had to a close and really pull out of that year like lessons, like, experiences, wisdom, challenging things, fun things. And so it's just been an evolution over time. It started first with how can we have a New Year's Eve tradition that allows us to feel more momentum and clarity heading into the new year, where we wake up on New Year's Day thinking like, wow, like we already have some clarity to what we want. Then I think a couple years later, we also thought, well, we're now starting our new year with more momentum and clarity and focus. But man, maybe we're just like missing this opportunity to kind of say goodbye to the previous year. Maybe we're missing this opportunity to really pull out of the year that we just had, like, which is actually kind of, if you think about it, you just completed another year of your life. It's a really profound thing. And I think for me, it was easy to just be like, oh, peace out. Like, not even think about it, just on to the next thing. And so then we started this other tradition of, why don't we really focus and reflect on what did we just learn from this year? Again, what were the highs? What were the lows? And then use that to then think about, well, who do we want to be and what's important to us heading into the new year? Like, what do we need? What do we want to work on the most individually and collectively as a family? And then it was like, well, okay, if we're going to head into a new year, let's not just pick a word or a phrase or a theme for the year, which is awesome. Like, this year is like a blank canvas. So if we could create anything as a family and as individuals, what do we want to do? So that's kind of it's been a culmination over time, and it's resulted in, how do we really pull all of the gold out of the year we're just completed? How do we head into the new year with a lot of clarity and momentum and excitement? And then how do we really put a plan in place to like create what we want in the upcoming year?
And you can find, it's all free. You can find it at familybrand.com/best, as in the best year yet, your family's best year. And we found it to be super meaningful for our family, super fun. I was just talking to, I just hired someone, a new virtual assistant, and she was actually telling me, I actually downloaded your thing last year for New Year's, and it was really fun. So I thought that was kind of cool that here we are a year later, and she's like now on my team. So I thought that was fun, kind of random but cool connection.
Yeah, and this framework is actually we just recently did it even for our team at the Possibility Company, and it led to some really amazing breakthroughs and some real clarity for 2025. We did it by reflecting on 2024. And it's just, again, if we hadn't paused as a company and as a team to reflect on 2024, I think there's some real wisdom and lessons and gold that we would just be leaving in 2024 and they wouldn't be benefiting us at all. So again, all these worksheets of how to do this, some of you might be thinking, well, what are the questions you ask? And all of that is at familybrand.com/best. And Melissa's put this incredible, I would say, kit approach that's super simple to follow, but it has worksheets that you can print off for you as the parents, for each of your children. It gives them an opportunity to reflect. So there's some individual reflection, there's some family reflection, and it's incredible. So I would say that the reflection is like super meaningful and there's a lot of wisdom and lessons. I would say then the New Year's Eve party, if you will, is just fun. Like our kids and any friends we've ever invited to participate in with us, like, and I would say most of the families that Melissa's shared this with will say, like, that was the most fun New Year's Eve we've ever had. And then the exercises you have about the year you want to create, to me, I would say that's really being intentional. So if I had to kind of put three words on, it's like learning, fun, and intentional, which is just and it's not that you can't do that at any month, throughout the year, but obviously New Year's kind of has this momentum, if you will, built into it already that I think we just for so long as family, we didn't really take advantage of it. It was just kind of like, oh, just had a year, peace out to that year. And oh, we got a new year coming up. Well, let's just waltz into the new year. And nothing wrong with that. But I think I really love the approach we take now.
And I think the difference between this and something else, like I've seen some other things around that are maybe year-end business planning or year-end couples planning. I think the difference with this is very family
Mm.
centered. So it's how to include your kids too, which I'm really not. I've not seen that anywhere, and I think that that makes it really special and really valuable for families because when you are doing year-end planning, of course, there's value in Chris and I doing the year-end planning on our own, but you're part of a family, part of a team, and I think that's the whole kind of the whole thing behind Family Brand is how can you develop your family? And this will give you a way to do that. And, maybe your kids have some specific goals that they want to focus on, but they might just need a little direction and they might just need a little hand holding, honestly, like at the beginning to get some momentum, to get some clarity. And this kind of shows you again how to do that for your kids and for your whole family.
Yeah, it's a great point. It's so many of the principles that really apply in business that a lot of really successful businesses practice around strategic planning, and they call them like retroactives, like doing a review of like, okay, like how did we do? It's just easy to, especially I think, interestingly enough, the holidays are meant, at least I think they're somewhat meant to like come together as a family and really connect and spend a lot of meaningful time. And yet, if you're not careful, I know we've fallen in the trap before of the holidays end up being some of the most stressful, busiest times of year. We're just running from one thing to the next. So one of the things I also love about this, it's like a built-in way to cause us as a family to come together, be intentional, have conversations that we normally wouldn't have. And so yeah, if you go to familybrand.com/best, it, if you only took advantage of one of the three, I would say focuses, if you just used it as a family to reflect on 2024, it would be amazing for your family. And you would pull out so many lessons and so much wisdom and learnings and just the conversations that you have as a result of following this process and the worksheets. They're going to be really meaningful and you're going to learn things about yourself, about your spouse. You're definitely going to learn some things about your kids and about the year they just had that you didn't know. Or if you just said, well, we're not going to do the reflection, we're just going to like use the New Year's Eve party and the award ceremony, you would have a ton of fun. And if you said, okay, New Year's Eve, we do what we do every year. We're not changing that. reflection doesn't sound fun to me. We're just going to use the approach of how to be really intentional about creating the year that we want and accomplishing some things as a family that maybe we wouldn't have otherwise accomplished. That will serve you tremendously. And I think it's very simple to do all three.
So again, familybrand.com/best and tag us in all your festivities. We'd love to see them. We're going to be posting ours live too as we go. So you can follow along our New Year's Eve, New Year's journey too I changed my Instagram to Hey Melissa Smith. So come find us over there too.
Yeah, I guess the one thing I'll add to this is the whole reason behind this like best year yet is that really is what we want for families. I think sometimes it's like, man, life is just so chaotic right now and it's so hard. We got kids at these ages and it's just like, man, once we get through this season, and that season could be any season, like once we get through this season, then we can like start to dream about having our best year yet. But it's like, well, why can't every year be the best year yet? And I think sometimes we sell ourselves short as families by just settling, or we're just thinking like, oh man, I can't even wrap my mind around goals or dreams right now. And it's like, no, like, not saying it's going to be perfect. We're not saying there aren't difficult seasons, but we really do have a desire for families to create the life they want, to really live life as much as they can on their terms. And it really is your life to create with your family. Like Melissa said, I think that's so unique about this. It's like, it's let's do it together. Let's grow together as a family. And one of the things that we often say is as families, we're either intentionally growing together or we're accidentally drifting apart. So one of the things I love about this as well is it's a way to intentionally come together, but done so in a way that feels just really fun and natural. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Here's to everyone's best year yet as a family.
Bye. Thanks for hanging out with us today on the Family Brand Podcast. But wait, before you go, I want to give you something. It's something I stole out of our Family Brand Academy because I thought it would make a big difference for you, and I want you to have it for free, no strings attached. It's how we run our family meetings, and not just our family meetings that we have every week, but also our family check-ins, which is this system we've developed for how to connect with our kids and each other, Chris and I, every single week. And we've had some great outcomes with this. Not only have we, but a lot of families that have implemented this have as well. Actually, life-changing outcomes, if I'm being honest. You'll definitely want to get this. Go get your copy at familybrand.com/meeting, and we will catch you next time.